Alright, welcome back everyone. We're punching into day 4 of Orwell. So what happened last time? We managed to complete our investigation of Miss Nina Maternova. Unfortunately, she was nearly killed during the arrest, but she is in the hospital right now, so we have to see what's going to happen in respect to her. Aside from that, we uncovered an email linking the bombings between Maternova and Abraham Goldfels. So I believe our investigation now is going to focus on finding more information on Abraham Goldfels. It seems like he is responsible for inciting Nina Maternova and making her do the bombings. So now we have to find him and interrogate him. So at this point we're just waiting for Orwell to load up. Any moment now. There we go. So this is all our information from the last chapter. Unfortunately, we didn't pick up as much information as we could, but we have enough on Nina, Initiate, and Goldfels to continue our investigation. So. Okay. So this game has a bit of response issues with my recorder, so that's probably why it took a while for this to load up. But we'll get to it eventually. But look at that relationship web. Look how many interconnections we've developed over the course of 3 chapters. A lot of people have been connected in our investigation. Whether they have direct involvement in these terrorist acts or not, they've all been uploaded to Orwell. So let's see what Symes wants from us today. Apparently we're going to be focusing on investigating Goldfels, as we suspected. And obviously we arrested Nina and charged her with multiple homicide. I don't know how fair that charge is. Well, people did die as a result of her actions. So I guess we have done the right thing by arresting her. But it's kind of a gray area in the fact that, like, she is a single mother, she has been screwed by the system. So it's not clear that we're doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing for the safety of the nation, but it's a nation that hasn't really done well for Nina. Despite her service to the army. And I'm just going through all the headlines, the news headlines. Although most of it is pretty trivial. The only case of importance is the arrest of Nina. so let's see what they wrote about her. If you notice in the report, they say that they found explosive devices in her apartment, which is clearly not true. But we are covering up for the, I guess, the rest of the general population, making her seem like more of a terrorist than she actually is. So at this point we need to find information on Abraham Goldfels. I'm just looking for a better picture of Nina that doesn't make her look like a psychotic criminal. Maybe it wasn't such a great idea to post that article in the newspaper, because that gives some of our target suspects access to that information, but oh well. And again, the fact that Juliet is working on the weekend, there's nothing inherently suspicious about that. But I am taking that information down. Maybe we might catch her doing something at her job office over the weekend, but we don't know quite yet. Same thing with Harrison O'Donnell not wanting to show up at his apartment on Sunday. Since he does have a history of creating relationships for his own personal gain, it's possible that he might be doing the same thing with this Angela woman. And of course, Harrison believes this is all a massive setup by the government. For what reason, I don't know. Maybe we need motivation to support the crime bill and arrest more political activists. But no reason for us to believe that at this point. And look at this, Abe knew Joseph Langley, Cassandra's lawyer. So, on that basis alone, we're allowed to make Joseph a target person. We can start an investigation on him. That'll probably be a little bit easier because we have more direct information on Joseph at this point. And as you can tell just by this conversation, Carrington is the sane one, and O'Donnell is nuts. And even though he suspects that he's being wiretapped by the government, he's still giving us vital information. So thanks, Harrison. Not really the smartest political activist. Even his email lines as well. Now he's inviting Initiate to become a member of Thought, even though he says that even though Juliet had said that he had left Thought, so that's a little contradictory. He'll probably confuse Symes when he gets that information. So let's get more information on Joseph Langley at this point. And I have no idea why we're looking at the safety bill. We should be going to the notable alumni in Stellington University. That's where we'll actually find information. And you can see Delacroix and Langley side by side. So we know he has a law office in Bonton, and hopefully we can find a website related to that. And I think the reason I'm going through these is because they show up as new. They have the red star beside them, which I think implies that it's new information. But I don't find any new information in them, so I'm just gonna skip them. I'm just looking back into everything I can. Apparently there's new info in this chat log, so... Oh yeah, I remember, Joseph Langley had an important appointment. I believe 2 days ago, so we'll take down that information. Now we're going to look directly on his webpage and see what we can find. So there's an more accurate image of Langley. And Miss Catherine apparently joined up with Joseph Langley to start their own law firm, or law office. This stuff at the bottom, not really important information, but I'm throwing it in there anyway, because why not? I wonder what his military service was in the nation. So what else can we get? Okay, so successful case. What else? Yeah, this is what we're looking for. Telephone number, address. email. I believe that's everything. Again, the reason I'm clicking on all these, they have the little red star on the right side, which usually implies it's notable or new information. So I'm just like, I'm getting confused, I guess, looking at those. But anyway, so we're moving on now. So far the only motivation we have on Mr. Joseph Langley is his relationship with Cassandra Watergate. And also the fact that he knows Abraham Goldfels. But we haven't found any more information on that yet, so we're just... anything we have right now is speculation. We need to find something concrete that will directly link Langley with Goldfels. It seems clear that Langley is trying to bail Cassandra out. And honestly, I don't think we need Cassandra anyway, so I can't see why they would keep her at this point. I mean, we already have Nina Maternova, and she's the actual dangerous person, so... As far as we know, she's the one that incited the bombs. As far as Juliet and Harrison, we don't have any reason to believe Harrison is anything more than a cheerleader for violence. And as for Juliet, we know that she organized 2 protests for thought. But they weren't violent protests as far as we know, so... Those 2 technically haven't done anything wrong as far as we can tell. Harrison is still suspicious, however, because of his 2 health insurances. Which is kind of strange. But we don't have any reason to believe that he was involved in the bombings yet, aside from what Initiate believes and what Nina believes. However, these are just hearsay. We need something more concrete to arrest Harrison. And I'm just scanning through the background information of all these characters, seeing what's going on. What we have so far. And Joseph is telling Juliet that he's gonna try to find some information to help them get out of any legal issues. They both feel that the police are investigating them, and he's probably correct. It seems that an unknown person is in contact with Joseph Langley, and they want information on Abraham Goldfels. So we'll see what happens there. I guess Joseph's not very smart either, because he's given us access to his personal UID number on his, I believe, his computer. Although he has no reason to believe we're investigating him right now, so. Apparently, Initiate is already a member of Thought. And as you can tell, Initiate is also a smartass. So his thing is he likes to point out security flaws on the timeline. And his interest is in entertaining the masses, apparently. We're not going to take too much information from this timeline. It's mostly a diversion. We are going to note that he was at the Rosen Ivory, I guess the Rosen Tech Tower. Which, if you guys haven't been paying too much attention, yeah, I have been skimming through stories kind of fast, but oh, we got an achievement. Okay, so do whatever I did to get that achievement. But Rosen, or Rosen, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like the Apple of this fictional country. They're like the major tech player. It looks like Joseph Langley is willing to incriminate all the members of Thought, so that he can make a deal to get Cassandra set free from prison, or wherever she is right now. Detention center, I guess. So much for helping Thought. So let's go through Joseph Langley's personal emails. So that's the ethical thing to do. I guess I was reading the email, so you guys can read that too. Looks like Joseph is going through some financial troubles. I don't think we have to mention that he's laying off his secretary. Doesn't seem like it's important to the investigation. So now we're in his private emails. Oh, here's something we have. We have a link to Abraham Goldfels. And he may have supported Nina financially. Also, apparently Abraham's responsible for setting up Joseph Langley with Cassandra Watergate in her her crime. The very first one that started all of this. On top of all of this, he defended Abraham Goldfels in the case, so maybe we'll find more information about their relationship that way. What else can we find? He's supporting a charity started by Bruno Watergate, Cassandra's father. Okay. So Joseph Langley might be married. Not really relevant to our case, although it would be strange if he was still married and in a relationship with Cassandra. Mr. Langley's also a fisherman, so that's cool. I think that's everything. And being a lawyer, he has a lot to hide, so he cleared his history completely. What else could we expect from a lawyer? So what do we have? We have information on the case of Abraham Goldfels. Apparently he breached a employment contract with the government. Okay. So this kind of gives us a link between Goldfels and the bombings, but it's still a very weak motivation. There has to be something more. Okay, but we have evidence contrary to what Goldfels is saying here. I guess we're gonna have to load this anyway, though. Yeah, I probably should have ignored that. So let's check Goldfels' medical information here. We have an address. It's a good start. Whoa, what the? Suffering from inoperable cancer. Huh. Average life expectancy is 6 to 12 months at this state of the cancer. So it seems that Abraham doesn't have very long to live. Let's see what we can find from the fisherman's galley. And remember that Indubio is Abraham Goldfell's alias. It's a picture of Abraham. And what's great about this conversation here, if you guys can read it, is there's a troll in the chat that really doesn't like Abraham, and even thinks that Abraham is gay. So even in a hobbyist fisherman's league, you will find trolls that talk like 12-year-old boys. So now we have some information about Joseph Langley. One person claiming that his wife divorced him, and then that photo of him married. I'm just taking this information for myself. I don't want to think that he's cheating on his wife with Cassandra. I don't think there's any reason to believe that. Because that wedding picture could be very old, but who knows. But Langley doesn't look like the kind of guy that would be a cheater, I think. So now Initiate and O'Donnell seem to be in contact with each other. I guess Initiate knows about Orwell? Where the heck did this come from? How does he know? What's worse is he told the most insane target person that Orwell exists. Okay, hopefully Harrison is too stupid to believe that it's real. That sounds very capitalist. They outsource surveillance to people outside the nation. So, I guess I'm taking surveillance jobs from people living in the nation. And that must be how he knows he has connections to hackers outside of the nation. So does that mean that Initiate is outside of the nation as well? Probably not. Although that would lead to an interesting dilemma. How would I arrest someone who's outside of the nation if you can't go after them using Orwell? And O'Donnell's regressed to a 13-year-old boy. That's okay though. You better listen to Initiative if you hope to avoid arrest, Harrison. So overly dramatic, man. Looks like Symes has got her back. He's going to do what he can to decode. Oh, there we go. I'm also looking through Harrison O'Donnell's record. See if there's anything we can find. To be honest, Harrison right now looks like the most suspicious person that we have on the case. But that could just be because of how vocal he is. Everyone else who we suspect has some sort of subterfuge. They're not just so openly aggressive. It's only Harrison and Cassandra. But Cassandra's on like depression medication, so she could have like a mental imbalance. I don't know what Harrison's excuse is. Good job compromising our case, whoever did this. Great. Okay. So what's new about this article? Oh, actual hate-filled comments. Here come the trolls. And it looks like as a result of that leak, Mr. O'Donnell was not arrested, he was let go from his job. So that 3K per month or per week is gone now. not responsible for this. My hands are clean. I wasn't the one that got you. I was the one that made you lose your job. I'm just investigating you. So we're still missing something to further this case, and we're not quite sure what it is. So I'm going to go through, or I'm going to pick up Joseph Langley's bank account, see if anything suspicious is in there. A recurring donation of $1,000 per month. That could be suspicious. He said that he's financially supported Nina in the past. And there's it's possible he could be donating to a charitable foundation. That could be his monthly donation. But there's also claims of recurring donation to a friend. I mean, that donation could be to Mr. Bruno Watergate. They could be friends. But based on the suspicious circumstances, Orwell will probably assume that the recurring donation goes to Nina. So there goes all my ethics. Really though, based on the danger of this case, we do have to try to close it as soon as possible. So arresting Joseph Langley might actually help us out. It prevents O'Donnell or Juliet from getting any legal assistance. As bad as that sounds, could be very beneficial. And we still don't know too much about Juliet Carrington. We know she had at some point an active involvement with thought, but we don't know enough about her just yet. In fact, she seems kind of innocent. Aside from a few suspicious things about her, the fact that she was near the Thornton Mall with her friends. She decided not to go home on that day. But we know she didn't plant the bombs because Nina was the one responsible for that, so we don't really have much of anything on her, to be honest. Whereas Harrison grows more suspicious every time we hear him open his mouth. Of course, we know that Joseph doesn't intend to help either of these two. His only interest is in getting Cassandra out of prison. Okay. What's going on right now? Okay, there we go. So hopefully now we can get into the wiretapped, sorry, we can get into the conference call. That's a stark accusation, Mr. Langley. Obviously, we're just doing our job by telling people that, by uploading information to Orwell that has no relation to investigations or real cases, like the fact that someone lives with their parents or is a former member of a band or plays the guitar. This is all necessary information to upload to Orwell, clearly. Well, if you didn't say so many ridiculous things, Harrison, I think you would be fine. It's not my fault that you make statements like you want to declare war on the government or bomb like a government building. That's all on you, my friend. So the first two members of Thought were Abraham Goldfells and Harrison O'Donnell. And then it was Nina. Apparently Juliet and Abraham met online. Okay, so the very first protest was by Nina Maternova, and then the next two were conducted by Juliet. So where does Harrison fit into all this? Doesn't seem like Harrison was involved in anything. As far as organization goes, yeah, like I said, it seems like Harrison O'Donnell is just a cheerleader for violence. Nothing more. Someone's knocking on his office door, huh? I don't know, Symes. I'm just giving the information that they tell us. I have a feeling the person that knocked on his door will keep him far away from here for a very long time. Yeah, I felt that way too. I don't think we have any more evidence to convict either of them. So I think I have to cut off the video here because something's screwed up with Orwell or my recorder. So when we come back, we'll finish chapter 4 of this game. So I'll see you guys in part 2. Take care.